Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, I hope you had a good weekend. We are going to start the new week with a beauty. And I say that because I've checked out the screenshots and they are stunning. Now, one thing on the table right away is today's show will not look as good as the screenshots. Anywhere close, actually. I am using all the mod settings as requested by the creator, and there are quite a few of them. But there are extra mods that you can use to peak it even more. Things like Shadow Strength Adjuster, which I do have and I have pumped up to maximum. At ultimate level of detail, which I find lags my system too much to make a recordable show. So I've kind of got the map as looking as good as I could if I was going to play the map myself as a game. Okay, so hopefully you can forgive that, and hopefully the creator can as well. Right, okay, before we do any reviewing, it's just one little daily task for the regulars to do. You know what to do. That's right, hit the like button, really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, helps me grow a little bit more every single day. And even if you're not a regular, go on, do me a favour. Today's map is Shigaki by Ostev. You've probably seen it on the workshop. If you've been to the workshop, it is glorious, and it looks like a glorious map already in terms of the playability and the size. And there's your start square. Yeah, the size and shape of it kind of fits with the 25 tiles perfectly, I would say. Look at that. That's your height map. Looks pretty good to me again. And then off to the resources. The resources, they're ore in those fields. Just a few bits and pieces. Let's say a bit more oil offshore, maybe, possibly. Okay, off to the workshop. Now, this will be, it's mass transit, by the way. You all need mass transit for this one. These are your mod settings. There are a few of them. Of course, you don't need to use these ones. These are just to get the map looking like it appears on the screenshots. But there are more. I'll remove decoration sprites. I use hide it. Same difference. There is a long list of required assets and mods as well, and some of the mods are provided with settings on that main screen, and some of them are just alluded to, such as Ultimate Level of Detail and Traffic Manager President Edition. Surface Painter is there as well. So basically some of them you don't really need actually to, but you know what I mean. I'm just going to go, that is listed as the required list, so we'll go with that. Okay, so I'll talk about the graphics in a second. I just want to show you this intersection right off. There's not too many problems with this map at all, but we will see one on this intersection. In fact, there's a couple on the first couple of intersections, actually. This one's got the pillar in the middle of the road, and I don't think we can find an excuse for that one. So that there is a detailing error. I will be pointing out the errors today because there aren't many of them, and you're going to be looking at the map going, "Cool, this is gorgeous." Yeah, okay. The map sells itself. I'm just going to tell you the other stuff, right? You won't see any lane arrows today because we're using Roads Unlimited plus or something like that with the lane arrows switched off, and we've got some lovely power lines as well. But yes, if you look at the trees, especially in the distance, they're a bit flickery and stuff. And like I say, that is the best I can do with the mods that I use that make the game playable for me and watchable for you. You don't really want it lagging at, you know, 4 frames a second or something like that, because I've pumped up the detail to excessive levels. They've got something, a first time ever on this intersection. Okay, it's a detailing error, but it's the first time we've ever seen this detailing error. So it's good to see something new for a change. And you might argue, well, do you know what? Actually, no, I'd let that go. Possibly, that's fine. No, we've got some sort of like vines or something crawling up the outside of this pillar. Is it vines or is it just not believable as vines? And I would suggest it's not really believable as vines, but if we move the pillar, let me move the pillar, we'll see, there's a tree underneath it. There it is, that tree there. We'll move actually we'll just undo that one, and we'll go around to the other side and show you around the other side, and we'll move the pillar again. There you go. Is that, it doesn't look enough like vines, like ivy to claim that that's not just a detailing error. Anyway, minor detailing error. I'm not that bothered about it, to be honest with you. I very nearly didn't notice it, and that's understandable really, because like it's tucked right in the dark, and if this was a choice between 4 and 5 stars, that would not make the difference between this being a 4 or 5 star map. Don't worry, I'm not that critical. Loving this terrain as well, coming up to this tunnel. Look, it's stepped. It's beautifully done. Also, you may notice the sprites on the grass, they are switched on today. I'm a great hater of the grass and the cliff sprites and that sort of thing. I can't abide them, but I feel on some maps they really do work, and this is a map where I think, again, it really does add to the detail quality. It might also add to the quality of the overall fuzziness of the picture. And so maybe that's why the trees in the background are a little bit fuzzy and flickery. I don't know, possibly. I'm guessing. I'm speculating or spookulating. Next intersection, we've got a little problem on this one. You may have noticed already. Just a little problem here, right? But this is the first one which isn't just an aesthetic minor issue. We do have a little bit of stop-start traffic because of this this intersection here, where you just got one little section between nodes and the cars have to stop and start, wait for that node to clear. Again, very easily fixed, and we have got a recommendation for Traffic Manager President Edition, and there is a setting within that. I've not used it for such a long time, but there is a setting that will allow traffic just to keep going, you know. I'm just mentioning these things. I'm gassing it, you know, gassing it. Fields and intersection again. This one, oh lordy. How good can a map look? I mean, even though it doesn't look at its best, this map still looks amazing. Quality of work in it is absolutely top class. We'll just keep skipping along. There's some barriers going down the middle of the highway. Yeah, there's like 80, what was it, 80 plus 84 required items for the map. So yeah, you're not going to be running this if you're on an i3 with 4 gigs of RAM. Not going to happen. Well, you could. You definitely could, but I don't recommend it. More road intersections. This one we're going to take a turning here because of, I mean, just look at the ramps and look at the tree detailing, and it's just, oh. And here where we've got the walls on the side, the retaining walls on the side, making this look like a proper elevated section. Look at that. That looks solid. That's as good as that gets. Okay, I'm credit where it's due here with Ostev. And the street lights, one on either side of that, if you can call it a tunnel. It's quality. So good. We have got a slight encroachment of foliage there. Looks like a bush is actually growing in the road rather than that. Again, minor stuff. And again, the lane merging there, four lanes down to 3 lanes. Just very slick. Very happy with that. Very happy with everything. Life is good. Does Monday get any better than a glorious map? I am not really sure. Don't know. Maybe meeting a wonderful person out in the real life and having coffee and discussing how many children you might have together, and maybe that is better than a beautiful map on a Monday morning. But I wouldn't know. It never happens. It just doesn't happen. Does it happen to anybody? Oh, maybe the beautiful people. Not as voiceover people. No. Look, we've got some pillars encroaching into the slip roads. And we move along towards the start square. You probably guessed it's getting up to start square location because it's like flat buildable area. And you may have noticed a building. And we'll do some focus on that building in a moment, I think. And there you go, a little bit of build plane there to work with, which means it's time for this. Today's asset of the day, it's Cosmopolitan Portland by Smilies, one of the new stars of the workshop. And this is not just a star of the workshop made this. What can I tell you? It's gorgeous. I love it. Absolutely love it. And factoids, because factoids. King Charles VII of France was so terrified of being poisoned that he starved himself to death. Well, that's what I call an overreaction. Anyway, yes. Oh, look at this. Look at the colours in this. And can you imagine like a whole city of the Smilies. We need a whole city's worth of these, please. Different variations, sizes and shapes and colours. Cosmopolitan Portland by Smilies is today's asset of the day, and let's go back to those networks, shall we? Right, I'm not sure which road we were on. Were we on the elevated one? I can't remember. Yeah, I think we'll stick to the elevated one. That's how we came in, I'm sure. Moving down, we're not going to follow the networks around the island anymore. We kind of like followed it from the edge of the map down to this, which is the end of the peninsula, for want of a better phrase. It's not really a peninsula, but you know what I mean. And let's show you where we are on the map. And we could loop back around, but we're just going to be going back down the boring route, and we can do that anywhere we like. It's fine. We'll have a look at the rail. Now, the rail doesn't actually terminate here even. It goes into a tunnel. Now, we're not going to go this way, but I'm just going to show you as we're here, because you're curious. It goes from there, it emerges over here for a short stretch, and then it goes into another tunnel, goes straight off the edge of the map directly ahead there. So we're going to go back this way because this is more fun. And it is more fun, actually. We go into a little trough, into a trench, and this is quite tidily done. Now, you're going to say it's off-centre. There's kind of a reason why it's off-centre. You'll see in a moment. Because under this bridge, we've got two lanes merging into one, or two lines merging into one. A little bit of terrain glitching in there, but it's kind of hidden. I don't know what more the creator could have done to do anything about that. We've got a catenary down there under the bridge, which is straddling two lines. Again, it's in the dark, and it's almost forgivable there, isn't it? Almost forgivable. Mind you, it's not actually in between two lines. It's between two lines. It's not actually on the line. So we can let that one go, I think, actually. Catenary alignment could be better. If I show you just moving that one up to there like that. That one could be better. What you do with the other catenaries, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm guessing there are options to make that just a little bit, tiny bit more visually pleasing. Like here, we've got a missing catenary here and a missing catenary over here as well. And again, I'm not sure whether that's just the game glitching out. I didn't think to check with Move It whether there are nodes there or not. We do have a couple of missing catenaries side by side here. Again, doesn't really matter at all. Personally, if I was playing this map, I'd remove all the catenaries anyway, as I do with any map I want to play, really. Not a fan. That's me. I live in a world where there are no catenaries, or part of the world where there are no catenaries anyway. Moving along, it just looks glorious. Going through the landscaping now. Don't bother looking at the rail. There's nothing to see. It's just look around you. It's freaking beautiful. Ostev. Ostriv. Ostriv's the other city builder type game that I was let's playing for a little while until it kind of died on me. But yeah, don't die on me, Ostev. I love your city. I love your city. I love your map. I'm sure I love your city as well if I saw it. Yeah, it's just lovely. Right, we are getting towards the edge of the map now, which means we'll skip off. We'll come back. We'll do the shipping routes and the water. And then we'll have a little look at the map as an overview. And do you know what? Then we'll just give it really high scores, I think. What do you reckon? I think so. Oh, the fog's off, by the way.
Do your cul-de-sacs look like this? Do you want them to look like this? Then you need the beginner's guide to the perfect cul-de-sacs by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
And so back to Shigaki by Ostev. Now, shipping routes, no problems with these at all. So while we're going over the shipping routes to show you them anyway, I thought I'd mention about the fog being switched off on the map. Now, normally I leave the fog switched on unless there is specific issues or workable things on the edge of the map that you do need to see. There's nothing you really need to see on the map at the edge of the map on this map. I just feel there was something that didn't quite work with the fog switched on with today's show, so the fog got switched off and it worked a lot better. Now, water flow. Now, if you're playing vanilla rules, then you're not going to like this, but this isn't really a map for those people that are playing vanilla rules. In fact, there's a whole bunch of required asset mods, So this is your start square, your water flow. It's coastal and it's just, yeah, ecking around. So if you're vanilla, then yeah, there are other maps for you. There you go. This is the map as a whole in Technicolor with the flickery trees. Sorry about the flickery trees. Let's have a look at some of the things. So this is your start square. Lots of buildable plain around here, going around the hills, around the edge there. You build a huge monstrosity of a city. Yes, whatever you build on here will make the map look more ugly. Beaches are tropical and just some stunning palm tree work there as well. The forests are, we'll go to the forests in a minute, I think. Well, look at these what are they called? Piers, jetties, breakwaters, harbour areas going with that. And then up here, probably the most iconic part of the whole map are these salination plants or something. And this is where we basically let the water in, let it evaporate. We collect the salt and then the water. Is that what happens in these? I'm not from part of the world where this happens. I've seen it, things like coasts of Majorca and when I used to live in Cyprus and areas like that. I think this is where salt is collected, I believe, anyway. Loving the use of every little bit of land down here, the fields between these pools as well. And if you look down here, we do have, surprisingly, it's the Essential Lighthouse. Ah, it's beautiful. And so well used on this particular map. I mean, right there. I don't see why not. And then we come down here, we'll have a little look. There's a bay here, actually. And there's a tower guarding the bay. I don't mind this one. It's more like a folly than a castle. I don't mind that. The foliage detail is just amazing. The bay loops all the way up to the top here. And again, just makes aesthetic detail and common sense as well. Now, if you're going to have one regular grumble, well, let's have a grumble about this jetty, this pier. Luckily, the grass is despawning in front, so we can see it a bit better. I would drop that a little bit. Just drop it so that you could actually climb onto it in real sense. It doesn't look like something that would be that much out of the ground, so we're dropping it down about as far as it will go. Starting to move the terrain itself. So I'm happier with that. You can get up that. You just need a little step ladder before to get up there, didn't you? Or a friend to give you a leg up. Now you go. The hills are amazing. The trees. There's the lod pops in there. Look at the density of the forests. This is probably what's causing the issue for me with the aesthetics. There is basically like 120% ground coverage. It's amazingly dense, just like me, which is why I like it, I think. Anyways, yeah, aesthetically, we've got just loads of trees. If you've got a small system, it's not going to work. Liking this clearing here. This feels real. Feels mighty real. It feels so real. Ah, oh, love it. I should have left. I should have ended the show on that. I think I should end the show on that. But no, over here, is this Salt Plain again? Maybe I'm not sure what that is exactly. Looks like a salt lake. And then the fields. Just look at those hedges. We're not alluding to hedges here. We're blinking, putting them in, and they look real. They look beautiful. The whole map just looks beautiful as well. You may notice we've got some ready-made roads there as well for a neighbourhood. If you want to go with that, we can just get the bulldozer out and just delete it. We don't want to see that. Oh, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. I think it will be. But are the system requirements too high for you to rate this at the very top level? That's why you're here. Aesthetically, for me, I think it is stunningly glorious. I'm going to give it the highest possible 4-star rating before it gets to the 5th star, because I cannot absolutely guarantee that I would ever see this at its maximum glory without running it on like 4 frames per second. So I'm going 4 stars, but incredibly high 4. Detailing is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Again, it can't get the 5th star because there are 1 or 2 pillars in roads and things like that. But yeah, it's still wonderful. It's a very, very high 4 stars for detail. Gameplay potential. If you've got the system that can run it, it's 5 stars. And so for that, I'm going to give it 5 stars. Okay. If you haven't got a system to run it, then this is a 1-star map. Whatever. Do I give it the BonBonB seal of approval? Do you know what? I think I do. I think I do, because I would like to have a go on this myself. I really would. I don't see that I'd have too many problems. I just have to maybe, turn the graphics settings to maximum and kill my system. Bye system, rest in peace. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, and for joining me for another map in the What's Map series. There's an old map in the What's Map series on the screen now, which has just got the votes put onto it, and there'll be another map in the What's Map series coming along tomorrow. And don't forget, tonight it's Flowscape, and we'll have another little diorama to build. What do you think? Do you want to join me for that one?